Hello, and welcome to week 3 of our continuing education. Hopefully, you have enjoyed the last 2 weeks listening to some amazing educators. And I'm really excited today to talk to you about toxin-free living. So my name is Sarah Morden, and I'm a part of this CE Collab, an amazing group of wellness educators that are super passionate about using oils, living this lifestyle, and educating around them. And we also know how valuable and important your doTERRA membership is. And so we want you to be aware of everything that you have access to. Whether you're just getting started or maybe you've used the oils for a little while, there may be some products or some topics that you didn't even think about, right? And so the purpose of this is to focus on a specific topic, spend about 30 minutes chatting about it, sharing, some information as to why it's important, sharing a few products, a few solutions, and then at the end, we'll just wrap it up with chatting a little bit about the doTERRA opportunity. And so I encourage you to stick around for that because that's a huge part of what we do. The other thing I want to mention before we get started is that let the person know, whomever referred you to this program, let them know that you are loving these classes. We'd love to hear your feedback, and let us know when you've completed all 8, because we have an awesome little present to send out to you. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but just let us know when you're done, and we can send that out. And we do also have an amazing VIP group that we'll be looking to add you to as well. So we want to know when you've completed all 8. So week 3, here you are, and we're going to talk about toxin-free living today. So let me just share my screen for you. Here we go. This is a topic I am super passionate about. In fact, when I found out I got to talk about toxin-free living, I was really excited because it's honestly the thing I probably get most excited to talk about, because I think in many ways, this has had the biggest impact on me, my home, and my family. I also believe strongly that it stems into so many other areas. When you can start to take care of yourself in this way, so start to eliminate exposure to synthetics and certain ingredients, and we'll dive into that a little bit more and what that looks like. But when you can start to do that, you're really building this healthy foundation that you can then build upon. And one of the things we talk about when we talk about toxin-free living is something called toxic load. I'm not sure if that's a term you are familiar with or not, but it was not a term I was familiar with 5 or 6 years ago when I got started with the oils. And what it is, essentially, what we're seeing in people, and not even like unborn children in their umbilical cords, we're seeing this. But what we're seeing is that due to the exposure that we have day in and day out of all sorts of ingredients now, things that we didn't necessarily have exposure to even 50, 60 years ago, that continued exposure is building up into our system. And that's becoming the problem. And that's where we're seeing our systems, like it starts to wreak havoc on a variety of systems, our hormones, our mental health, our stress, our immune, our sleep, all the topics that you're actually going to be learning about in the next 8 weeks, these phenomenal topics, your skin, pain. In many ways, it comes down to this as a foundation. Because if you're burdening your body with these toxic load and synthetic ingredients every single day, day in and day out, no matter the oils that you're using, your body's going to have a really hard time finding that balance. And so that's why I'm so passionate about educating around this topic. Now, the other thing I'll say is that please don't feel overwhelmed when we start to talk about this, or maybe you've already got it in your head that you thought, oh my gosh, what is she going to tell me to do? I'm going to have to throw out everything in my home and start fresh. It's going to cost a fortune. It's going to take so much time and effort. No, it does not have to. I promise. That's the other reason I'm so passionate about this. I have 3 kids. I'm a super busy mom. I've got a full-time corporate job. Plus I do this as a business. I like really simple, really easy, and I love when things are super cost effective. My husband really loves when things are super cost effective. In fact, he's the guy, like this is his jam too. He could probably be here teaching this topic with me, because he loves the savings that this has had for our family. So I want to just mention that too. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about starting with one ingredient, one product, one room at a time. The other thing I just want to say, I think this is really important, is our bodies are amazing. What our bodies do for us every single day, it is constantly working for us to bring us into homeostasis, to bring us into a balance. And so our livers and our kidneys, they're phenomenal at filtering out toxins, right? So it's not about having to be perfect. I say this all the time to my team. We don't have to be perfect. Now, the more you learn, the more you're probably going to get to a point where you really struggle bringing in certain ingredients into your home. But to start, you do not have to be perfect, because our bodies are phenomenal at filtering some of this stuff through. What we need to start thinking about is those daily things we're exposing ourselves to, and that buildup. That's what we need to try to start to avoid. Okay, so let's get started talking about two of the major sources of toxins that we're exposed to: our household products and our personal care products. So have you ever thought about this? I know 5 or 6 years ago, I had never thought about the products I was bringing into my home. My background is health. I went to school for it. My jobs have all revolved around it. And so eating well, exercising, sleeping well, meditation, those have all been big parts of our lives for years. But I never thought about the products I was bringing into my home. And so this was a real eye-opener for me. And it was really, really fascinating. A couple stats I'll just throw out to you. I won't go into a lot of them, but I love my stats. But they're important because this is what opened my eyes to it. Just simple things that I hadn't really thought about. Like, on average, did you know women use about 12 products per day on their skin, personal care products, right? Now, you might think, I don't think I use 12 products. But if you think about it, it adds up really quickly. Even if you're somebody that doesn't really wear makeup or use a lot of things, you hop in the shower, you use a shampoo, conditioner, body wash or soap, you get out, maybe you use some sort of hair product, you use facial cleanser, a moisturizer, a deodorant, then you brush your teeth. It adds up quite quickly. You can see how it can add up, right? And these are repeated exposures that you're having every single day. So we do need to start to pay attention to the ingredients in these products, because 60 to 70% of what we put onto our skin absorbs into our body. That's why essential oils can be so effective using them topically. But on the flip side, we have to think about some of the other things we're putting on our skin. The other thing that was really eye-opening to me was, I had this idea that if it's on a shelf in a store, it's got to be safe. Like, they can't just put it out there and it not be safe. But unfortunately, it's just not the way it is. You can see down here, it states companies choose to use known carcinogens and other really toxic ingredients in their products. And it's just the way it is. And when it comes to the cosmetic industry, it's really archaic. So even just to give you a sense of just recently what's been happening, Europe is a little further ahead than us, well, quite a bit further ahead. They've banned thousands of ingredients in cosmetic products. We've banned about 500 in Canada, and the States has banned about 9. The last I saw, 9 ingredients. So they're way behind. But we can do so much better. And these are products that we've been exposing ourselves to for years. And so the process is slow. In my opinion, we can't wait for the big guys to make the decisions in banning certain ingredients and products. We need to start to pay attention to this. And the cool thing is, now that you have a doTERRA membership, man, this is so easy. You don't have to necessarily do all the legwork and the research, because whatever doTERRA is putting out there is toxin-free, it's clean, it's amazing, and it's effective. So just because it's natural, this was the other idea that I had in my head years ago. If it was natural, it probably didn't work very well. Or sometimes that's the idea, especially with household products, right? No, I need my bleach, or I need my Clorox wipes or whatever, because these natural products are not going to be effective, and that could not be further from the truth. One area that I want to mention to you, one resource, is the EWG database. You go on to that at any time, and it's a phenomenal resource to go in and just browse some of the products that they recommend. They actually rate certain products. If you can't find the product on there, you can actually type in certain ingredients, and it'll tell you on a scale of 1 to 5, I believe, green being 1 and 2 is, pretty good as far as the level of toxicity, upwards to 4 or 5. It's like red, skull bones, don't go there type thing. So you can do some of your own research on products that you have in your home. But like I said, because you have a doTERRA membership, we're kind of taking the guesswork out for you, and we're making it super simple. And I'll tell you, like, this whole world opened up to me shortly after I was introduced to the oils. I was introduced to 2 oils to help keep my kids healthy. I was in cold and flu season. I had a 1 and 3-year-old at the time, and I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And so I started using 2 of these oils, and I was amazed at how effective they were. And so then I started to learn a little bit more about just various products in my home, and I went down this whole idea of this toxin-free living. And I was amazed that I could bring 1 or 2 products into my home to replace like 10. Right? So again, the idea that it has to be complicated could not be further from the truth. It really is very, very simple. So let me actually chat about a couple switches that you can make, a couple areas that you can start, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's just about getting started. Start one place, one room, one ingredient at a time, right? Great place to start is your toothpaste, right? So it's pretty non-threatening. It's pretty easy to do. Most of us aren't attached to our toothpaste, right? Like maybe not the same way we're attached to skincare or some of our lotions and things like that. So get started with the toothpaste. This is something, again, I had never thought about, and you can do a quick Google search on ingredients in standard toothpaste, like your big brands, and you'll be shocked to find what's in there. And again, it's not that one ingredient, being exposed to that one ingredient once or twice is going to be an issue. It's the fact that think of how many times you use your toothpaste, at least 2 or 3 times a day, every single day, orally, where things are absorbed very quickly. Your little ones are using it. Your little ones, nobody's that little, but you know what I mean. All my kids use this toothpaste. So it's really important that our toothpaste doesn't contain harmful ingredients in it. And so the doTERRA On Guard toothpaste is phenomenal. Not to mention you're getting the added benefits of your On Guard in there, which is your protective blend, great for your immune system. I'm in love with this toothpaste. My house never has less than, like, if you open up my bottom drawer under my sink, you will see at least 5 to 10 toothpastes at all times. I just have this thing about having a big stock of toothpaste. So this is one thing that you can add to your LRP, your monthly order. It's so easy. You don't have to worry about going out to the store and sourcing out the right ingredients and finding the right product. You add this to your cart, boom, it's delivered every single month for you and your family. It's amazing. So that would be the first area I'd recommend getting started with. The next is deodorant. And this is so important, and we're not going to get into all the science and the stats and things, but think about where you're putting your deodorant every single day. And think about statistically the rates of certain illnesses that we're seeing in women. I personally know many women, and using an antiperspirant or a deodorant that has harmful chemicals in it that's seeping into your body, again, every single day, or starting your young daughters, like when they're hitting puberty and they start using a deodorant, we need to be using natural deodorant. And I know if you've never used natural deodorant before, the idea of it can be a little, oh God, like I've heard they don't work, I'm going to smell bad, all those types of things. doTERRA has spent a lot of time in formulating this. And in fact, they reformulated it about a year or 2 ago. It is an amazing deodorant. And yes, sometimes your body does go through a tiny adjustment period of getting used to using a natural deodorant, but we have like some really cool tips in how you can transition and detox that part of your body, because sometimes that part of your body has to detox if you've been using an antiperspirant for years. So reach out to your doTERRA person, and they can always help you along with a couple cool tips on using making that switch over to the deodorant. But again, take the guesswork out. You don't have to do the research. Pop that into your cart, and that can be delivered every single month. Both my husband and I use this, and when my boys are old enough and my daughter's old enough, they will absolutely be using it as well. So that's a big one. Next, another really simple switch that you can make is shampoo and conditioner. I love the doTERRA shampoo and conditioner. My husband has actually just got his hair cut recently, but he almost has as much hair as me. We have a lot of hair in the house. And then I have 3 kids, and we all use the shampoo and conditioner. It's a great price point as far as when you're looking at like salon quality, because this is a really high quality shampoo and conditioner, but it doesn't have the crap in it. And think about it. Like, I don't wash my hair every day, but a lot of people do. Massaging that into your scalp every single day with those chemicals and those fragrances, and all the other ingredients, it's that repeated exposure that's becoming an issue for us, and why we're seeing our, it's why we're seeing our bodies react in ways like gut issues, eczemas, psoriasis, autoimmune things. Our bodies are just can't handle just this repeated exposure to all this stuff. And then the last thing you can do to make a switch, that's again probably my second favorite thing to talk about in doTERRA, is skincare. Love skincare. I love it because I spent so many years looking for a good skincare, and spent a ton of money. Never really noticed much of a difference. Didn't really feel like it was making me look any younger. I wasn't sure it was even working, but I was spending a ton of money. Never thought to check out the ingredients as far as what all the big long list of things actually meant. And so then I switched over to doTERRA, to this line, the Virage. And oh my God, I was blown away at the changes I saw in my skin over time. It's probably one of the biggest things I've noticed with using the oils is my skin. And this is a great way to start. And wait till you get to the skincare class, guys. It's so good. You're going to love it. So, and the girl that's teaching it, it's amazing. So that's another way that you can get started. And again, it's really cost effective. Like, you package this up. If you're putting it on your monthly order, you're earning points. So even just this, if next month you had these 4 things on your order, you're going to earn a bunch of points that down the road you can use to you can pay for your oils for free, right? So if you needed a peppermint and a wild orange and you've been earning points, you just add those on for your points and you're not even paying for your oils anymore. It's really quite amazing. Okay, so that's what I would suggest as far as getting started in personal care products. If you have any questions at any time, just reach out to the person that you've been chatting with about your oils, the person that got you started. And we love taking the time out. Honestly, guys, it's the education piece and the supporting and that one-on-one is, I know the women in the CE collab, and you guys are lucky. Got a wealth of knowledge and amazing women at your fingertips. So don't be afraid to use us. Ask us questions. Let us help you let us help guide you. Okay. Household products. Where are you going to make the swaps here? Here's a couple suggestions on how you can get started. Now, I talked about the idea of household products, bringing one product into my home that replaced like basically everything. This is it right here. This bad boy, On Guard Cleaning Concentrate. Oh my God. It's amazing. It literally replaces basically all my cleaning products. I do a couple DIY things. And if you're a DIYer, you guys have access to our Supernatural guide that has all the DIYs in it. And if you haven't seen that or you don't know what that is, again, just ask your doTERRA person. They will hook you up. But basically, the On Guard Cleaning Concentrate, you make an all-purpose cleaner. You pop it into a glass bottle. You can use an old Perrier bottle if you want. A dollar store nozzle, super easy. You put 2 tablespoons in there. You fill it up with water. If you want to get kind of creative and add a few oils like spearmint or basil, or you can have a little bit of fun if you love the smell of cleaning products, right? A lot of people have a hard time letting go of certain products because of the smells. And unfortunately, that's what's harmful, is those synthetic fragrances. That's one of the most harmful things we can bring into our home. Yet people identify with them, right? There is such a strong connection to our sense of smell. Again, it's why the oils are so powerful. But if you love that smell of lemon or pine sol in your home, you can do that naturally with your oils. I love Siberian fir. Anyways, so you can have some fun with creating your own cleaning products and creating the smell that you want to make your house smell amazing without the toxic chemicals. But that's all the On Guard cleaning concentrate is. You use 2 tablespoons of that, fill it up with water. That's your all-purpose cleaner. One bottle here makes, I forget the exact number, but I think it makes upwards of like 15 all-purpose cleaners, or maybe it's 12. And this is only about $17 or $18. So do the math. Like you're talking $1.25 per all-purpose cleaner. And this does my floors, my countertops, my bath, my sinks, everything. So it's amazing. This is like, you have to put this one in your cart. Okay. You're going to thank me. The next area that's really important is your hand soap. Again, and you're getting a sense, this is stuff you're using very regularly, especially right now. Like think of how many times we're saying, kids, go wash your hands when you come in from playing, wash your hands when you get home from school, wash your hands before, and yes, of course, hand hygiene, we probably always should have done that, but we're definitely washing our hands in this house more than we ever have. And so they're exposed to that every single day. And that's why we need to be paying attention to what's in our hand wash. And many of us are still using the beloved Bath and Body Works, or the ones that have these pumpkin spice smells and things like that have these synthetic ingredients, these parabens, these synthetic fragrances, and they are not good for us. What you can do instead is buy your own On Guard foaming hand wash. Get the benefit of using On Guard. So again, I've mentioned this a couple times. You can play around with adding your own oils for your own smells. Like right now, we just made up so I actually make my foaming hand soap. So again, if you like to DIY stuff, you can check that out in the Supernatural Guide. It's super easy to do. And I added something called Harvest Spice, which is a blend we have available right now. And it smells exactly like what my Bath and Body Works used to smell like, yet clean. And I don't have to worry about the chemicals in it. So foaming hand wash is a great option to add to your cart, or look at the DIY, because the DIY is super cost effective. Like again, I talk about my husband really liking the money we were saving. Instead of me going out and buying hand soap for, a couple dollars per hand soap, we're making it now for like pennies, right? The other thing is replacing, if you're somebody that loves, I've talked about this a little bit, if you've somebody that loves smells in your home, you need to be paying attention to what it is you're using to create that smell in your home. Most likely it's a synthetic fragrance. And fragrance is one of the worst things for us. It, unfortunately, just the word fragrance hides up to 3,000 different chemicals in just that word. So if you're looking at something that you have and you're looking at the ingredient, you will most likely find the word fragrance in there if you haven't cleaned up your home. And that one word is hiding upwards of thousands of toxins and synthetic ingredients. They don't even have to list them legally. So candles, plugins, certain companies that promote, oils that put off a smell. I don't want to call out any companies, but you know what I mean? Like just synthetic stuff. They're not essential oils, even if they're trying to make it seem like you get candles that'll say eucalyptus and lavender. Well, be very careful. Look at those ingredients, because it can be tricky. So one of the simplest ways, take the guesswork out. One of the simplest ways to do this is just stop using that stuff and get a diffuser with your essential oils. Your options are limitless. You can play around with combos. If you get creative, you can stick to your favorites. You can make your house smell phenomenal. And there's something so powerful about anchoring memories, I believe, into certain smells. So my kids know every morning wild orange and peppermint is going in the kitchen. They equate that smell now with, hopefully, usually, a nice breakfast as a family. Sometimes it's a little hectic, sometimes it's a little loud. Same when they come home from school every day. On Guard is diffusing. It's that warm, homey smell. It's really quite amazing. So that's another thing you can do to replace. And then last is laundry detergent. Our laundry rooms are just stocked full of chemicals. Dryer sheets, our laundry detergent, and it's one of the biggest areas that you can make a really quick improvement by getting a couple dryer balls. So get rid of those dryer sheets, and getting a laundry detergent like your On Guard laundry detergent. Or this is another area where you can make your own, and it's super easy and super cost effective. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to mention, if you've just kind of gotten started, or whether you've just gotten started or not, but you're kind of at a point where you're like, oh, I really want to start experimenting with some of these new products and some new oils, and I just don't know where to start. And maybe sometimes it feels a little overwhelming. This is so amazing. Wellness delivered right to your front door. It's super simple. It's focused on three main areas: your immune system, pain relief, and mental support. All things we can use a lot of support in right now. And basically, you add this to your LRP. And if you have no idea what LRP is, then talk to your doTERRA person, because they will help you out. But basically, that's just a monthly order where you get to earn points, and you get this wellness box that shows up at your front door. You have complete control over it. And what you can do now is you can add this wellness program where you're going to get 3 kits, one in the first month, one in the second, one in the third. And you are going to get step-by-step support on how to use exactly those products. And there's a lot of things in here, like the natural deodorant, your On Guard products, certain things, right? So, and we're going to educate you step by step on how to use these products. And basically, you're going to have these amazing kits on hand, and you're going to learn ways to use these oils and these products that you can then create these amazing healthy habits in your life. And so it's just a super simple way to start to expand your knowledge and your use of oils. So I highly recommend looking at adding this to your cart next month and experiencing this over the next 3 months. It also unlocks other savings. You get access to things that nobody else has access to. It's amazing. So definitely, if you have questions about this, just ask. The other thing that I would recommend, if you're not looking at necessarily doing that 3-month wellness program, this is what I would look at doing in your monthly wellness box for next month, for November, or whenever you might be watching this. So I would add these products here, and they're mostly ones we've talked about. The shampoo and conditioner, great place to start with personal care. Your skincare, I'm super passionate about that, so here's your skincare line. You're also going to get your toothpaste that we talked about. You're going to get your doTERRA On Guard cleaning concentrate, because you got to have that. You're going to get, we didn't really talk about this, but your On Guard hand sanitizer. So important right now, not full of all sorts of toxic chemicals, but very effective. You're going to get a free oil of the month. So when you're part of the LRP and you spend over 125 PV, you're going to get a free oil, which is amazing. So every month it's something different. This month, I believe it's clove, but you might be watching this recording down the road. So again, just ask your doTERRA person. You're going to receive free product credits. The other oil we would suggest adding is Purify, which is the most amazing oil for cleansing and purifying the air in your home. You can use it as a cleaner. You can use it as a natural Febreze, millions of ways to use it. So this is personally what I would do to get started. And then the next month, you can add a few of the other products. This here, all of this here is only $162 to make some pretty significant changes in your home as far as looking at living more of a toxin-free life. So if you have any questions about that, just ask. The only other thing I want to take a moment to touch on is the fact that doTERRA has this amazing opportunity with not just using the oils, but sharing the oils and teaching others. So what we're doing here, this amazing group of women that is coming to you to share and educate, and hopefully our passion comes through, because we really are. We are so lucky to be part of what we're part of. And so oftentimes, when we're teaching a class or we have people attending, these types of education, there's usually three different types of people. There's the people that just like to use the oils and are in love with them, and that's amazing. And in fact, that's how basically everybody gets started. If you talk to a lot of us didn't get started saying, I want to do this as a business. It was, I love my oils. But then what happens is when you love something, like if you fall in love with a pair of yoga pants or a movie or a book, you immediately want to share with your friends, right? Or you might be listening to one of these classes and thinking, oh my God, my mom could totally benefit from this, or my sister, or my best friend. And that's where things start to get fun, because you can start to share the oils and it can be super casual. It can look like whatever you want it to look like. You just need to talk to your doTERRA person and we will help you do that. And you can share them super casually, or you can maybe look at doing it a little bit more purposefully and paying for your monthly order, which is pretty cool. And that's how I got started. I couldn't help but share. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's paying for my oil habit, is what I used to always say. So that's an option. Then there's also the people that sit and are listening to this and have maybe watched us, watch this group of women or whomever you're watching, whoever you got started with, and they probably inspired you in some way or another. And you maybe sat back and thought, I'm kind of intrigued by that. Like, what is it that she does? And how does she make a living? And oh my gosh, she left this great job and is now doing this full time. That's an option too, right? To teach others and do what we're all doing, and be a part of this phenomenal community. And the potential is limitless. And trust me when I say, I never thought I would be doing this. Like if you had told me 6 years ago, you're going to be, selling essential oils and educating around them, I thought, what are you talking about? Like, I love my job. I've worked really hard to get where I'm at. And it's amazing what the oils have done so much for me and my family, but the business has done almost more. And so we just want you guys to be aware of it. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm probably gone over time. My stopwatch stops, so I don't even know where I'm at from a time perspective. But please, if the least bit curious, just chat with your oil person or whoever referred you to this, and we'd be happy to share a little bit more about what that looks like. Okay, guys. Well, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you enjoyed that. You've got some juicy content coming up over the next couple of weeks and some amazing women that are going to be sharing from their hearts. And yeah, thank you for listening. Take care.